Hey, everybody, welcome back to the realm. It's another episode of Weird Weekly News. I'm Gina.
I'm Rich.
And we're here to just read some weird news articles to you. If this is your first time joining, Rich and I come with a couple articles each. They could be old, they could be new, just anything weird that makes the headlines we're going to share with you. So, Rich and I solve who goes first by a good old game of rock, paper, scissors. Rich, I have to tell you, when Kez stood in for you last week while you were vacationing in Hodag country.
Yes, I was up there.
So Kez won the round. Yeah. So they held it down for you. It's perfect. And so I had to go first. So and you won the week before that. So now I think that we might be able to call it a streak if
I win today, it's a streak. Yes.
If you win today, it's a streak. Yeah. All right. And I just had a cat go across. All right. So you ready?
Sure.
All right. And we're set. And oh man, it feels so close. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh my God, you won again. It's a streak. It's a streak. Like, this is just the roars from around the world because Rich normally loses. Did you buy a lottery ticket?
No, I did not.
Well, maybe you should, because you won 3 times.
Yeah.
Okay, so today for our weird weekly news, I have a couple articles. This first article that I'm going to read to you was actually just submitted to me by my brother. So this just was on the front page of Mansfield News Journal from Mansfield, Ohio, and that's where my brother lives. Shout out to Jeff. So the headline read, "Woman says she recorded a Bigfoot." And then underneath the headline, it said, "Audio clip will be discussed during the community town hall." This was front page news on a reputable newspaper in a town in Ohio. So this is kind of big when you think about it, because most news stations try to shy away from this stuff. So anyway,
interesting.
I know. So thank you, Jeff, for the submission. So a woman lives in a rural area. And her name is Suzanne. And she lives a little over a mile from the Mohican River near Mohican State Park in Loudonville, Ohio. So back in May of 2013, she witnessed what she describes as a 7.5 foot, like, hairy beast that was like jumped over a back road near her home. So I don't know exactly what that means. Like he was running and then kind of leapt over the roadway. Maybe it's a narrow, rocky road, but that was the first time that she had witnessed anything in the Mohican area. She calls it Bigfoot, but this description she gave obviously matches that of other claims. So according to this article, like Sasquatch, Yetis, Grassmen, that kind of thing.
Yep.
So for years, she could hear like knocks and weird noises and howls all around her home in the area. And even had like other sightings. And other people also reported some sightings, but she even had other sightings herself, aside from that one on the side of the road. And she said that sometimes it was so scary that she even contemplated moving from the area, from her house. So at some point, though, all of the activity just stopped. And then it just made her curious. Like, okay, where'd he go? What happened? So she decided to purchase a recorder, like just what we use on our paranormal investigations, just a simple, she said it was nothing fancy.
Yeah.
She got a recorder and she allowed it to run because she just didn't want to miss any evidence if something happened. So she collected about over 20,000 hours of sounds over the years. And she said that she, during that point, it was like howls or whatever and sounds, but she hadn't caught anything substantial until this July. So July 3rd at 3:42 a.m., she captured what is a long howl, along with some coyotes, and then more mysterious howls that she believes to be Bigfoot. So she sent this audio to a specialist that he's like a specialist in analyzing Bigfoot recordings. He prefers to stay anonymous. He's within the Bigfoot community, but he wants to be anonymous. So this woman actually then ended up joining Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization. So she is a part of that, and she continues to look for evidence, to this day, and has throughout the years. So apparently there's other people that have like camped in the area that, claim to have witnessed tall, dark figures as well. So between all the reports, especially a lot of reports that have been recently with people with sightings, and then this new recording, the Muskingum Watershed Conservancy District, which is like a governmental agency, they actually asked Suzanne if she would take part in this Bigfoot base camp weekend that's coming up here on September 9th through 11th in Pleasant Hill. So I think it's just like what it looks like. It's like a family friendly kind of event that they have in the area. But it's filled with a lot of Bigfoot themed events, like courses on Bigfoot, like Bigfoot 101. Maybe they're going to do hikes, and there's movies, and there's speakers, people that are, I guess like the well-known voice of the Bigfoot community. And so while they're there, they're going to do a town hall meeting for that area at 7 p.m. on September 10th. And so what she's hoping, and that's where they're going to feature this evidence. So they're going to play the evidence. They're going to talk about it. So it's actually going to be the discussion of a town hall meeting. So they're hoping that a lot of people come forward with their stories. She did say she understands it's scary because people fear of being ridiculed. I mean, I would be too. But she does know at least 3 people in the Mohican area that are going to be sharing their stories for the first time at the town hall event. And their experiences are very recent, like in the last 6 months. So what I will be doing is I'll be posting a link to this news article in Mansfield. And this online news article actually has a video clip, an audio clip of the howling that she caught. So it's very, very interesting. So everybody can take a listen to that and find that in the comments. And then I also posted something for the Bigfoot Base Camp weekend. So what do you think?
Interesting. I've heard different sounds that people attribute to the Bigfoot or Sasquatch or Yeti or whatever. I haven't heard them myself. What was that? What was I watching? Darn it! And I don't know what it was. Had to be on one of the like Discovery Channel or
yeah.
Had to be on one of
have
those.
Like those hunting Bigfoot or something type shows.
Yeah, where they had recordings of Bigfoot, and and then they had it where they were comparing it to other known sounds, and I thought that was kind of interesting.
Like did they put it like up against a coyote or
different? Yeah. And that's what they did. They put up against different things. They said, okay, well, here's coyote, or here's a mountain lion, or here's a bear, here's a whatever, and it definitely didn't sound like any of those, and it almost had like a had phonetics to it, and pitch would go up and down, and it would sound like a growl or a roar type of thing, but at the end then it would have like a couple like different syllables or something. It was really weird.
Like it had a cadence to it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like
and it was like almost like it was like it was trying to communicate. So for that to be in Ohio, it's interesting. And you said Mansfield, isn't that where there's a penitentiary there, right?
Yes, there is. My brother lives right down the road from the penitentiary.
So maybe the Bigfoots are hiding.
Go there.
Maybe they're hiding in there.
Maybe. I want to go investigate that so badly.
That's the one from what's it called, right?
Shawshank Redemption was filmed there.
Yeah.
It's funny that you brought up like how they compared all those recordings, because in this article there was also a blip about how this expert that's an expert in listening to sounds that people think are Bigfoot. They believe they have proof that Bigfoot exists, especially, or like Yetis, Sasquatch, however, whatever word you want to use. They believe that there's something that exists, and that it does have like a specific speech that it uses, based on sounds with cadence, and so it communicates in this way. I mean, I think back to like how we depict cavemen like grunting and things like that. So I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility, but
sure,
as far as that form of communication. But what they did say is, based on other evidence that they have collected through the years, that if it was Bigfoot, they do not believe that it was like a male or a male adult Bigfoot, that it would be more of what they would figure either being a juvenile or a young Bigfoot that has been lost, or maybe even a mom Bigfoot that is calling for their young. So
Interesting.
that's what they believe it to be. So
Interesting.
that was my first article. What do you got?
Cool. Very good. I like it. I'm always up for a good Bigfoot sighting.
I know you are. I know you
I,
love it.
I will say that I did not experience any Bigfoot adventures or confrontations.
Did you see a
last
hodag?
weekend? Huh?
Did you
Saw
see a
pictures of
hodag?
him. Saw pictures of him. I didn't really see him. You know what? You know what it reminds me of? You ever think back when you're a kid? You know they had the game, Cooties.
Yes.
It was like rainbow color and it had the legs and had the intent.
Yeah.
That's all that when you see one, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. Hey, that looks like that game. But obviously it's not a game. But picture that, and that's what a hodag, I think. I mean,
so for those of you that don't know, go back a couple episodes to Wisconsin urban legend list where we talk about what a hodag is. So
yeah, quite interesting, actually. All right, well, that was awesome. Now I'm gonna take you to Tokyo.
Ooh.
San Francisco. No, just Tokyo.
Just Tokyo.
Yeah, San Francisco. This comes from the Huffington Post. The headline reads: "Biting, clawing, attacking monkeys terrorize Japanese city."
What the?
And they have some pictures here, so I'm gonna make sure that I post these because I've got one of them. I've got one of a monkey flipping everybody off. So I mean, that alone is just that's
I just like okay. I can't wait to hear this one.
That's comic gold. Yeah, it's the monkeys. They're targeting children and elderly. They're trying to snatch babies, biting and clawing at flesh, and sneaking into nursery schools.
What the
is
hell?
what they're up to. So it sounds like it's some type of minor monkey invasion of some sort.
Oh my god, we have monkey pox. They have like actual monkey assholes.
They have actual monkeys. Yeah, exactly. So the story reads: Tokyo. It says people in southwestern Japan have come under attack from monkeys that are trying to snatch babies, biting, clawing at flesh, and sneaking into nursery schools. So far, there's been 58 attacks since July 8th. Yep, 58 attacks
since July 8th. Oh my God.
Since July 8th of this year. It's gotten so bad that the officials had to hire special hunting unit. I want to say hunting because they're not going to hunt them.
Right.
A special crew to come in with tranquilizer guns to start, tranquilize them to get them back out to where they belong into the regular habitat.
Right.
They say the monkeys aren't interested in any food, so trying to trap them or any of that stuff doesn't work. They've tried it. They're not there for food, so they're setting traps with food, and the monkeys don't. Right. They don't care. And they're mostly targeting children and elderly. It says, quote, "They are so smart and they tend to sneak up and attack from behind, often grabbing at your legs."
Wait, so they're just like running out from the wild into the city
They're just running around the city. Think Jumanji, right?
Holy shit.
Where you had the monkeys running around, they're driving the police car.
Yes.
That's what I picture. That's kind of what it is. They're in the city. And these monkeys are just terrorizing the city. It's bizarre. The monkeys are called Japanese Macaque, Macaque. Macaque, I guess is what that would be. It looks almost like a baboon. Right. It's got it's got like the red face, and they have like the longer face, not like a chimp or anything. It has like a longer baboon looking face and kind of furry, and they like to hang out in hot springs is where they usually hang out where they're at. Some of the pictures that they're showing there looks like snow and ice area on a mountain, yet they're all taking a nice bath like in a hot spring, like they're sitting in a hot tub.
Oh my God.
So that's another good picture. What they're telling the folks of the town when confronted by a monkey, here are the instructions. They're giving out instructions, folks.
Holy crap.
So that, I think everybody listening should keep track here just in case you have a monkey that's going to attack you. Here are the instructions. Do not look at them in the eye.
Are you serious?
Don't look them in the eye. Whatever you do, look away. make yourself look as big as possible.
Okay, that's valid.
Okay.
That's like
Such as spreading open your coat and then back away as quietly as possible without making sudden moves.
So don't look at them. Open up your coat really big and back
flap,
away very slow and flap it. And
okay. Yeah. So
I think we should practice.
A couple. Yeah. I don't think people are following those instructions because 58 of them have been attacked so far.
Apparently not.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to mess with these guys. I mean, they got some huge teeth. Couple of the victims says one woman was assaulted by a monkey while hanging laundry on her veranda.
Jesus.
Another victim showed bandaged toes.
Oh man.
And both of the victims said that they were taken aback and frightened about how big and fat the monkeys were.
Holy crap.
So I mean, it's odd. I mean, they're saying that they're weighing about 15 pounds and they're about what's 1.6 feet in height. So, that ain't very big.
No. I mean, that's just like 1.5 foot tall. So I mean,
yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. But that's what it says here in the I mean, I'm looking at images of these monkeys.
It's like the size of a small dog, but only they walk upright.
Yeah, maybe. I guess it's hard to.
Not a small dog, but like a medium-sized dog, maybe.
It's hard to get. Yeah, it's hard to get that from the picture I'm seeing. But when they try to explain it to you that way, and they say measuring 49 centimeters or 1.6 feet in height and weighing 7 kilograms or 15 pounds. I mean, you've a foot and a half high, but it weighs 15 pounds. I mean, I don't know. I guess, yeah. I guess my beagle isn't very tall and she weighs 15 pounds, but still. So yeah, it's not a very big monkey.
But monkeys are really strong. So it's amazing like how something so tiny can be so strong and cause so much destruction.
It's amazing to me.
So did anybody die? Have to go?
Nope, no serious injuries so far.
Okay.
But anyone who has been attacked has been told to seek treatment at a hospital. And in some cases, ambulances were called for people that had issues, probably like the person with the bandaged toes or something like that,
Oh, did I? But I think I might have interrupted during the instructions. So was it just don't look at them, back away slowly, and make yourself as big as possible?
That's it.
Okay,
that's it. So nothing real useful there. I mean, if you're not looking at him, don't look at him in the eye. I mean,
yeah, I don't know how.
It's not like he's the size of a polar bear. It's only a foot and a half high. I mean, you don't look at him in the eye. And next thing you know, he's behind you on your back. So I mean, I don't know. I think I'd keep my eyes on him personally. I don't think I'd be.
I am probably gonna have nightmares tonight.
Yeah, I don't think I'd like that very much at all. But so that's in Tokyo. So if you ever go to Tokyo, make sure that you watch out for these monkeys that are attacking people. And I will be sure to post some pictures to go along with this. Because as I said before, the one is quite comical. The other one is just serene. And the other one is just darn right frightening with his fangs. I mean, he just doesn't look happy. Looks like somebody spray painted him red. I'm
excited to see these photos. So I think we got some good
bizarre
stuff we're going to be posting about this new stuff this week. Yeah. So from Tokyo, I'm taking you to Cambodia.
Oh.
So this is from July 14th. So this is a recent news story. Eerie ghost ship runs aground on beach during storm with discarded life jackets nearby. Have you heard this?
No. Interesting.
Right. So a deserted vessel was found ashore near, I'm going to hopefully pronounce this correctly, Koh Tang Island in Cambodia after being blown in by strong winds. So it happened on the evening of July 12th, 2022. And so they couldn't get to it. Like it was like storms, rough seas. So it was just kind of there, just floating around there in this area. So the next morning, though, the authorities went out and searched the shorelines for signs of life and didn't find anyone. And the ship appeared abandoned, completely ghost shipped. So they found, like I said, they found 3 discarded life jackets along the shoreline during this, and it was on the rocks about 50 meters from the wreckage. So as of this date, authorities had not been able, as of that date, like on July 12th, or the 13th, which was the next morning, they weren't able to still get aboard the ship yet, and they couldn't get close enough to see if there was like any markings or anything. from where they could see, they couldn't see that there was any markings. And so they were just waiting to be able to get closer and kind of get on it. In the meantime, the local authorities did tell the local Coast Guard, they did tell other ships in the area to keep watching for like any missing crew members or lifeboats that might be out in the sea. Just kind of keep their eye open. But on July 14th, it looks like they were able to inspect the shipwreck. They still didn't find any markings, but from this inspection, they were able to speculate that possibly the vessel was registered in China. The crew and captain still hadn't been found as of that date, and I couldn't find any updates with that. But there were a couple theories that were kind of like spinning around out there. One being that the ship could have come from a scrapyard, like maybe a ship graveyard broke loose and floated away. Others think that it could have been used to smuggle drugs. So, according to the article, Cambodia is apparently, and this is a quote, a prolific gateway used by Chinese gangsters to smuggle meth from labs in Myanmar into the rest of Asia Pacific regions to wealthy countries such as Australia, Taiwan, Singapore, Japan, and Hong Kong. I did not know this. So there's several news outlets that featured this story. I haven't found any updates since, but yeah, ghost ship off the coast of Cambodia with mysterious origins.
What's interesting is the life jackets after that they found.
I know there was like 3 life jackets. So where is that a coincidence? I mean, was that from a different boat that was in the area? I don't know. But again, I'll be posting the link to this news story. People can go take a look at the ship and the life jackets.
Interesting.
That were found. Yeah.
I like a good ghost ship story.
I know, dude. Did you see that movie?
Yeah, I did. That was pretty cool.
I think like that was one of the more poignant movies for me because it has a scene that I have never since I've watched it ever been able to get out of my mind. And that was when like everybody was on the deck of the ship and that cord came loose.
Oh, yeah.
Tore through the whole center of the ship and everybody on there was just cut completely in half. It was insane. Anyway, sorry if I ruined it for anybody that hasn't seen it, but go see Ghost Ship. Go watch
Spoiler alert.
It's an old movie, but you'll love it. It was really good.
Who hasn't seen that?
I know you'd be surprised.
I guess that's a good movie. Well, speaking of scary movies, I've got one here. Neighbors are freaked by creepy Chucky doll. Discover real life child's play.
What the? I thought you hated dolls. Why are you going to report on them?
Because I found it and I thought it was pretty cool because they got pictures with it. And if I saw this person coming towards me, oh hell no.
All right, lay it on me.
Yeah. It says a horror movie character spooked an Alabama neighborhood before being unmasked. So it's kind of like Scooby-Doo too. So
somebody like dressed up like that?
Yeah, that's what it is. Residents of Pinson, Alabama did not want to play with a Chucky doll roaming the streets during the day.
I wouldn't.
Kendra Waldron spotted the figure resembling the evil protagonist from the 1980s movie Child's Play, and she started posting alarming pictures on Facebook. So, that's everybody goes, oh my God, look at this thing.
Going to record it as
Stop,
it's going.
hold on a minute. Let me take a picture.
Police.
Yeah. It says the diminutive look-alike prowled the neighborhood in overalls and striped shirt with long red hair, very much like the movie villain. Walden wrote, I almost had a heart attack. Well, Kendra, I would have had a heart attack as well. And wait till you see this picture. You are going to want to have a heart attack as well.
I can't wait.
It says some Facebook users started tagging the parents, joking that their children were terrorizing neighbors. Others were spooked. The doll, however, turned out to be a 5-year-old kid named Jackson who likes to wear Halloween costumes.
So he's just randomly out walking.
5-year-old kid decided, I'm going to put on this Chucky thing and I'm going to walk around the neighborhood. Well, I'm
probably
serious.
Doesn't even realize what.
Probably not at 5 years old. Probably not.
To the masses.
He probably just thinks, hey man, this was a cool movie. Everybody must like it. I'm going to dress up. And that's what it says right here. Jackson's mom says her son loves to make people laugh.
Well,
not give people heart attacks, just make them laugh.
Yeah. I don't think he achieved the laughter too much until this, like right now, because I think it's hilarious.
Jackson's mother wasn't at home. She was at work during the Chucky incident. So this raises other questions that I have about, about this town, that the 5-year-old is at home running around town in a Chucky outfit
with no supervision. I'm
was
sure
no
somebody
supervision.
I'm sure somebody was babysitting him, but like you have to think like kids in and of themselves can be totally creepy anyway.
Oh yeah.
Like I like even when they wake up from like a sleep or they like sometimes they sleepwalk a little bit or something, like kids can just be creepy in general. And so like without even knowing that he was being creepy AF, he was scaring the whole town.
Well,
That was great.
there's a silver lining to this whole story.
Okay.
They started getting messages from people asking him to be at their kid's birthday party. Now he's gonna get. Now he has a job at 5 years. Now he's gonna have a job at 5 years old.
And he'll have this news story to look back on too. His claim to fame. Hopefully he continues to be successful.
I mean, I'm sure he was laughing like nobody's business underneath that mask. But I'm gonna tell you what, he's freaky looking.
Oh my God, can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I'm gonna post this when we post this episode. I'm gonna add. It kind of looks like Carrot Top, except except maybe 4 feet tall, 3 feet tall.
That's awesome.
It's weird.
Have your kids ever done anything like totally creepy to freak you out?
No, can't say that anybody has done anything like that. No, or anything even remotely close that I can think of. I'm trying to think any good stories of that. Really, I can't even think of anything.
Well, like my daughter, my oldest daughter, my kids have all done something creepy. I think we'll just make a whole freaking podcast out of it. But at this one time, my eldest daughter, so at the time we went to Catholic church at the time. When I was married, I went through the process of attending the Catholic church a long time ago. And so I would take Sophia to like these, she would go to like the little kids, thing during they would have something like during mass or during Sunday. I don't know. They had some kind of Sunday school. I think I can't remember what it was. Anyway, long story short, she was like learning about the rosary, I think probably. And then one day she came up to me and she said, I'm going to go pray on my rosary. And she's 3.5. Yeah, she's 3.5. Okay. And then she comes back to me and I could hear her like in there saying something. And she comes back to me. She's like, Mom, I want you to know that one day God's going to come back and scoop up all of his little lammies. And I was like, what? Where did you hear this? Like, where did you hear this? And she was like, they told me. I was like, who's they? She goes, them. And then that was it. And I was just on her merry way. And I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck is going on right now? So, yeah, there you have it. I mean, I have tons of little stories like that with my kids, but
yeah, I can't think of anybody doing anything.
Looking me dead in the eye that basically the rapture is really going to happen.
Yeah. No.
Well, great news stories today. Thank you for listening this week. Make sure you check us out on Facebook. We'll have plenty of these pictures and links to these episodes on Facebook and in the description on your podcast. We're on Spotify, Amazon Music. Where else, Rich?
Stitcher.
Yes. And Google Podcasts.
Google Podcasts.
Yes. So we are still awaiting our approval from Odyssey. So holla, Odyssey. Thanks, everybody. If you have any news stories you'd like to share with us, please send them over to us. It was really great to get a lead on a story for this particular podcast. Thanks again, Jeff in Mansfield, Ohio, my amazing brother. And also just send us an email at connectedrealm@gmail.com. That's connectedrealm@gmail.com. You have any parting words there, Rich?
No. Ciao. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen.
Hasta luego. I don't know. Aloha. You taught me that one.
Aloha. Yeah.
A biento. Bye, everybody.
I got to come up with a new one, but for now, ciao.
Bye.
Bye.